to the third round of the 2008 FIA Junior World Rally Championship, the JWRC. Two rounds down and 5 remain. Now it's the idyllic island of Sardinia that hosts the best junior rally drivers in the world. We'll have all the action from Italy's most beautiful island coming up. Plus, Patrick Sandell takes time out to have a bit more than just a chat with us. Using two-wheel drive, nervous little monsters as cars, the junior competition, known as the stepping stone to the WRC, is having a season as unpredictable as ever. Round 1 in Mexico jaw-droppingly saw the new boy Sébastien Ogier take maximum points. And over in the desert, the last round in Jordan saw positions change more times than a traffic light. Leader Patrick Sandell and Jan Mulder. Just two of the unlucky ones, giving the Frenchman yet another victory with an incredible drive. The championship stands like this so far. After 2 events, Ogier's sitting pretty with 20 out of a possible 20. And Sean Gallagher's jumped from 6th to 2nd with his number 2 spot in Jordan. Before the rally began, the drivers and co-drivers put their cars through its motions, finalising the setup in what is known as shakedown, the last chance to get a sense of what this gravel surface had in store. Aaron Burkhart and Martin Prokop back after missing Jordan. The rally is based around the port of Olbia, the opposite end of the island's capital, Cagliari. With 3 days and 345 kilometres of competitive stages, the challenge is on to catch the leader, Ogier.
Feeling is very good. We have a perfect start of the season, so we will try to continue in the same way. But here I think it will be a difficult race. I think the more important here is to don't have a problem, because it's a very difficult rally for the car, and we will try to don't have problem, don't have puncture, and I hope to win here too.
I think it will be very hard for our cars, and we will see what will be better, to go fast or to stay in claim and to wait for the mistake of the others. I will see what I will choose. At this moment, I don't know.
This is going to be the toughest year on Sardinia ever, because it's never rained here during May, they said, in 8 years. So it's going to be quite rough, and also because the ground is so sandy, and now when it comes a lot of rain on the sand, it's just mud. So it's like 2 rails to go in, and then you cut really down to the big stones. So I think this is going to be a tough one.
Jordan was a really stupid mistake of me, but what can you do? That's the sport we're doing, and we just have to do a lot better here and get some good points, because we really need them.
As with all JWRC drivers, 6 out of the 7 rounds must be selected to compete in the championship. In Sardinia, all the drivers are here, including plenty of Italian pilots representing their home event. The ceremonial start would mark the opening of Rally Sardinia. The action would begin in the morning. Sébastien Ogier had the honour of starting the day, 132 kilometres divided into 2 passes on this fast and narrow surface.
200 mètres bosselé, léger ciel à fond. 100 mètres, attention, frein avant gauche, centre 53, pour droite 110, bref.
Complaining of a loose rear to his Citroën C2, the Frenchman was surprisingly not at his usual pace. And finding it hard to get traction. Second in the championship, and Irishman Sean Gallagher's brake balance was a concern for the 28-year-old. 2 spins also lost him time. Jan Mulder was out to make amends after his Jordan off last round.
43 right plus.
Despite the Suzuki Swift understeering, the Estonian was clearly pushing. Patrick Sandell was showing the juniors how it was done. Having won the opening stage of the day though, the Swede's Clio Super 1600 wasn't getting heat into the tyres. More cuts into the treads for Patrick in the afternoon, a potential solution. Aaron Burkhart was back, and the smiley German was adjusting to the conditions after missing Rally Jordan. Of the 5 Italians present, it was Alessandro Bettega who was quickest in his Renault R3. Michał Kocisko wasn't pushing, but found a great rhythm and set up for his Suzuki Swift. Maybe not pushing was the secret for the morning, as the Pole found himself as one of the fastest juniors in the pack. Kocisko was pipped by another returnee, that of Martin Prokop. The 25-year-old Czech was holding his own. Martin's power steering was spuriously working, but he muscled into first place by the end of the morning. Just 1 minute separates the top six in Sardinia, Ogier and Mulder down to 4th and 5th respectively.
The car is working very well. The setup is fantastic, and with this one we can go how fast we want.
The 30-minute service before the afternoon on the Thursday was once again trouble for Sébastien Ogier. The team frantically changing some concerning areas for the Frenchman. He made it out with just seconds to spare, but it wasn't to be the end of his problems. The afternoon on day one sees stages 4 to 6 as repeats of the first 3 stages. 66 kilometres of track for the dramas to unfold. Sébastien Ogier was out first, and the championship leader was clearly not happy. His steering damaged after passing WRC driver Khalid Al-Kazimi. And it looks like the end of the day for the Frenchman. Disaster for Sébastien. Ogier wasn't the only one in trouble. Jan Mulder was still unhappy with the handling of his Suzuki, and with 10 kilometres to go on the last stage of the day, a rear puncture hemorrhaged him time.
Flat crest, 60, brake to right long.
Third in Jordan, but this time Gilles Chamel was out of contention, breaking his front left suspension. Florian Miguel was staying out of trouble and quick enough to be in the points. Being further up in the championship, Michał Kocisko was to stay out of the mess that was about to happen. He was quick and got up to second by the end of the day. That mess began with Aaron Burkhardt. On stage 6 and the final stage of the day, Burkhardt was racing hard.
In rechts 4 macht auf. 30.
That rock damaged his steering, causing this off, leaving him stranded in the middle of this narrow Sardinian track. Patrick Sandell was storming through the stage, unaware of Burkhardt's Citroën. The Swede smacks into the German, damaging his Renault steering arm and drive shaft. The 26-year-old limped over the line though for third. Martin Prokop also has the same obstacle. He gets round the ailing German's car, but what has this done to his time? He did have a 15-second advantage over Kocisko coming into the stage. That's the time Martin has to beat on the corner of your screen. Martin does it by 3.7 seconds. Officials took pity on Prokop and Sandell, crediting them with 10 and 25 seconds. Martin extended his lead from 3.7 seconds to 13.7. Day 2 in Sardinia saw 135 kilometres of unforgettable action for the JWRC. 3 repeated stages, including the famous Monte Lerno Pass. An awesome display of how to drive in Sardinia by 2 young men, Martin Prokop and Michał Kocisko. Prokop was first out, making his Citroën C2 Super 1600 dance and sing through the opening stage. He was followed closely by the 23-year-old Michał Kocisko. The Pole was on a charge.
Do 5 plus prawy, zhamuj wyjście, tu zachopa prosto. 40.
We'll show you the action from these two in a little while, but some were not to finish the day. Suzuki teammate Jan Mulder was again fast. A crack oil sump though soon after this pass would end his day. The other Suzuki Swifter, Florian Nigel, knowing Mulder's problems, could begin to push to get himself even further up than 6th position. The German, however, was to have a lucky escape. This accident retiring the 24-year-old. Testament to the FIA safety regulations, Florian and co-driver Andrei Kachel were unharmed.
Okay, Flo.
Yes, we had a little problem, so we hit a stone, a rock, and then we went out and rolled over, so game over.
And you're okay?
Yes, I'm okay, co-drive is okay, but the car is damaged, so we don't start tomorrow. The next rally is Finland, so we look forward.
Okay, Flo. Yeah.
Bitter luck too for Patrick Sandell. A loose steering arm on stage 8 resulted in his wheel buckling under the 230 horsepower force, putting the Swede out for the day. Stage 8 was home to the famous jump on Monte Lerno. The juniors were getting air and controlling the landing. That was before Milos Komlenovic turned up. Keen to impress the rally spectators, Milos took his Renault Clio R3 for an attempted flight around the island. Advised to go a maximum of 50 kilometres an hour by teammate Sandell, Milos thought otherwise. The Serbian obviously not shaken, but both he and his co-driver went to hospital for precautionary checks. He wasn't the only one entertaining the crowds. Martin Prokop and Miho Kaczysko in a battle of the rally with some serious driving skill. Prokop was out first and kept his advantage up on Miho, 7.8 seconds up on 8. Kaczysko beat everyone on 9 and took advantage of the rally. After service he maintained his lead, to be spashed by Prokop on stage 11, taking back his advantage by 7.7 seconds. We join Miho on the 12th and final stage of the day. Starts determined to make the 19.46 kilometres his own. Martin Prokop is already on the stage, taking on the tricky parts a second time round. The advantage of going out after Prokop is that you can see the leaders' split times. We join Miho at the end of the stage. The time on the corner of your screen is the target Miho has to beat to get ahead of Prokop. There's the line coming up, but has he done it? Yes, by just half a second. Nothing in it after 267 kilometres of racing. Incredible stuff. The 1-2 of Kaczysko and Prokop sets up a thrilling final day, and it's joy for the locals of Bettega and Albertini, the two Italians in the top 8. Sébastien Ogier pushed all day and got to 8th. A 15-minute deficit on the leader is surely too much to ask, even for him.
The car is fantastic. We have a really incredible setup, so I think that's the biggest weapon for tomorrow, the good setup and to use the car properly.
On the last stage we lost a lot of time and we don't know where, because we were trying to push for maximum, so we don't know what's going wrong.
This is a great battle between the two of you, isn't it? Are you enjoying it?
Maybe it's great for you, but at this moment I would like to have a little bit better time than I have.
An amazing battle is poised for the final day of Rally Sardinia. All the action coming up in part 2, plus we hear from Patrick Sandell, taking a break from his usual sport. See you in a bit.
It's okay.
Welcome back to Sardinia and the final day of the third round of the Junior World Rally Championship. All the action coming up, but first. 2006 debutant and JWRC champion Patrick Sandell has had an exciting start to his career. Although one of the quickest talents the sport has seen, his unlucky results have put him with the also-rans in the championship. We spoke to the 26-year-old Swede taking time out in Sardinia to learn a new sport with his co-driver Emil Axelsson.
It's always good fun to learn new things, and when you're on Sardinia you have to try windsurfing. I think it's a little bit more slow, but still you have to be very precise what you do, and you have to try to find a good balance. So it's okay, it's good fun. He's my best friend and also the best co-driver I ever had. So it's working really good both in the car and beside the car. So we have a lot of fun together, and I think that is very important because we're spending a lot of time together. I'm spending more time with Emil than my girlfriend, so it needs to be a tight relationship.
90 degrees, 90 degrees.
I know.
I think try work with the same. Chop, chop.
This is going better than expected.
I think he should stay behind the steering wheel.
My dad drove rally back in the 70s, so when I was 18 years old, I started doing rally also. So it's part of the family, I can say. ...2006 was a perfect start for us in the World Championship. We maybe drove a little bit slower pace than the other, but we got to the finish and scored good points in all the rallies, and we won the championship. And last year we tried to help Renault develop a new car, the R3. I think we did a quite good job with one victory, but we didn't finish in the top 3, so that was okay, that was a part of it. But in the during this year we choose to go back to Super 16, and because Super 16 is always a Super 16, and when we are competing against other Super 16s with the Suzuki and Citroën, you have to have a good car, so that was why we choose the Super 16 this year.
But with his obvious speed, when can we expect to see Patrick and Emil with the big boys of the WRC?
Maybe during next year or the year after, that is the plan.
With the basics mastered, Patrick still had trouble without the use of his steering wheel.
Patrick, come back! I need you tomorrow! Does anyone know a good driver here?
For 267 kilometres, the top 2 positions of Kocisko and Prokop have been battled over like nothing else. The 79 kilometres of day 3 was nothing different. Kocisko was first out with just that half-second advantage. And the pair were as competitive as ever. We'll see what happens to them in a minute. The other junior drivers were deciding their fate. With 9 competing under Super Rally rules, points for coming in the top 8 was still up for grabs. The Super Rally system gives drivers who have retired from Friday or Saturday's competition the chance to restart the following day. A penalty time of 5 minutes is added for each stage miss. If you retire on day 3, like Kevin Abering, then that's the end of your rally. Sébastien Ogier was still fighting for points. He super rallied on day 1 and with 15 minutes of penalties. He blitzed the lower placed drivers over the remaining 3 days, even passing Hans Weiss Jr. and Albertini to get into 6th. Patrick Sandell, with an even bigger deficit, also charged his Renault Clio, ending up in 8th. Sean Gallagher once again was keeping out of trouble. A solid fourth for the Irishman until a 14th staged puncture. He rejoined the stage having lost valuable time, promoting a struggling Aaron Burkhart up to fourth. Bettiger was comfortably holding his position. With a 4-minute advantage over fourth place and 2 minutes behind the lead, Alessandro was driving maturely for a brilliant podium place. But back to the battle of the rally with Martin Prokop against Michał Kocisko. There was nothing in it. Kocisko won stage 13, extending his lead to 5.9 seconds. Prokop came back on 14 to reduce the gap to just 1.4. On 15, it was the pole who took back his advantage, extending the lead to 7.4. With just over 20 kilometres left in the rally, there was nothing in it. Martin was clearly concentrating as he took on stage 16. Knowing he beat Kocisko by 4.5 seconds previously, Prokop's Citroën C2 was flat out and up for a fight. Michał was next and ready to win his first ever JWRC event. The Polish ace was driving well and his Suzuki Swift reacting just as he wanted. Back though with Prokop, and the Czech driver is slowing down. Fuel pressure problems just like he had in Mexico. What a massive disappointment for the 25-year-old. That gifted Kocisko a pressure-free final 2 stages and a promotion of 1 position for the rest of the field.
We had to stop because we smelled the fuel inside, and then the engine stopped, so we were trying to repair it, but it takes 40 minutes, and I think now it's not possible to have any points. Yeah, it was a very good race for us, but the end is very bad.
More good news for Michał. The 2.7 kilometre crowd-filled final stage of 17 was deemed too dangerous to compete for the juniors. All the pole had to do was drive through at road pace to claim his number 1 position. An unfortunate end for Martin Prokop, but a deserved victor in Michał.
Mille grazie. To jest lotna. Jedziemy.
Fastest in 7 of the 16 stages, the 23-year-old winner in Sardinia.
Michał, end of Sardinia, first place JWRC, is great.
It's incredible. It was really 3 incredible days. We were fighting from the first to the end stage to the second end, and it was really tough. I'm really happy to win here in Sardinia where all the best drivers of juniors were, and it was really tough competition.
What's it mean in your career? What kind of a moment in your career is it?
It's incredible. It's my first JWRC win, so I'm really more than happy, and I hope it will be like this in the future.
And here's confirmation of the top 8. Prokop's problems put him out of the rally and boosted all the other drivers up 1 place. The final 8th position going to Hans Weiss Jr., his highest in the championship to date. Sandow also gaining vital championship points. Ogier's 5th keeps him way out in front in the championship standings. He misses the next event. Maybe Kocisko is the only one to stop him now. Michał and co-driver Maciek weren't thinking of that though on the podium, clearly savouring their first win. They go to the next event in Finland with the rest of the juniors to close the championship gap on Ogier. But until then, we leave you from Italy's most beautiful island, and from the JWRC, it's ciao ciao.